Okay, so we've got the start of a base going on here on Atrox, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And there are so many items to unlock, it's gonna take ages to gather this many bytes. Unless there's a way to get unlimited bytes without even lifting a finger. This is my plan for a simple byte farm that you can build in the first couple hours of gameplay. But in order to craft that, we'll need an extra large platform C. By the way, in this video we'll also get a large rover and we'll unlock a gateway chamber. But as I said, we're gonna need to unlock an extra large platform C. This is 2000 bytes and we're gonna use 2 resin and 2 iron to craft it. Let's go ahead and do that. And this will need to be crafted in the large printer. So let's go ahead and get the materials. And we started crafting it. So the first thing we're gonna do is the byte farm. For that we're gonna need another atmospheric condenser. So I'll go ahead and craft this as well. We still kind of have a power issue here, but we're gonna fix that too. Right now we only have wind power, but that's about to change. After these two are finished crafting, we're gonna need to craft 3 more research chambers. So the atmospheric condenser and the research chambers will all go onto the same platform, and then we're gonna set up our byte farm over there. In the meantime, we'll have to get some power items too, but let me actually check one more thing. We're gonna need to unlock the large rover, so that's 5000 bytes. Good thing we're gonna have a byte farm that's gonna work 24/7. Of course, the byte farm will also consume power, so we really need some more power items. And then to craft the rover, we're also gonna need aluminum alloy, rubber and 2 exochips. The rubber and the aluminum alloy are easy to craft in the chemistry lab right here. But in order to get the exochips, we're gonna have to open up some exocaches. We can do that with dynamite, or we can use some exploding plants to help us get them open. So we'll see what we can do about that, but right now I see that the atmospheric condenser is already crafted, so we can move ahead and craft some research chambers. I'm gonna set this on repeat so we can craft 3 of them. We've got all the materials crafted right here, so we'll go ahead and unpack them all. The platform first, then we'll have the atmospheric condenser on this end and 3 research chambers next to it. Let's go ahead and turn all of these on. And then from the atmospheric condenser, we'll choose the gas which has the most concentration. This right here is the number of the concentration, so the higher the number, the more gas we're gonna get. Methane seems to have the higher number, so we're gonna use that. We'll set this on repeat and turn it on. Now everything we need to do is set it up and connect it to power. So we're gonna have it right here behind these platforms, and we just need to connect it to the base. You can see the atmospheric condenser is already gathering methane, and once it's done, it will place them in all of these research chambers, which will automatically research it. We'll take a look at it while it's researching methane, but for that we're gonna need some methane first. Now, this farm will take a lot of power because the atmospheric condenser alone requires 20 units per second. That's why we're gonna need to expand our power section. I also said that in this video we're gonna unlock a gateway chamber, and to do that we're gonna need to constantly provide 30 units per second. We also need to do that from a rover because we need to get to the gateway chamber somehow, so in order to do all of that we're gonna use the medium generator. The medium generator essentially turns carbon into power, so we're gonna have to get organic, smelt it and then use the carbon, but this produces 9 units per second, so that's a lot. It costs 2000 bytes to unlock, and then we're gonna need aluminum and tungsten to craft it. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got it unlocked. There it is, the medium generator. I'll set this on repeat, I'll turn it on, and now we need tungsten. So we'll get 4 medium generators, and that should really be enough. It will be enough to unlock the gateway chamber, and it should be enough to power our base up. But of course we are gonna need to smelt the organic, so let's go ahead and start this process. We are gonna get organic using the soil centrifuge, so yes, we are using some power in order to get the carbon, but then the carbon gives us way more power than we put into it. So that's a really good trade right there, and with all that power, our byte farm will be able to function, so we'll get a ton more bytes and we'll be able to unlock even more awesome stuff. The first methane has been crafted, and you can see a research chamber grabbed it and is researching it. We are getting 21 bytes per minute, and it's so low because we don't really have enough power, but once we get more power we're gonna get a ton more bytes. I'm waiting to get some carbon so we can start up these generators, and that should speed things up a bit. So there we go, the first generator is in action and it produces 9 units per second. You can see we are pretty good with the power because of just this one generator, and of course the wind also turned on a little bit, so that's helping us. But with all the generators active, we should really have no power issues. And we'll go ahead and craft the final one, the 4th generator. We also need another platform because we are moving our wind section in the back there. I'll go gather some soil because we'll definitely need more organic for this. So I'll be back in just a second. We finally have enough bytes to unlock the large rover, so let's go ahead and do that. And now we'll need rubber, aluminum alloy and exochips. For the aluminum alloy, of course, we'll need copper, and there's no copper on Atrox as far as I know, so we're gonna have to head to Kelidor, and we're also gonna get some extra copper as well that we are gonna use for solar panels, and that should help us fix our power problem a little bit more. So let's go ahead and launch. And now let's head to Kelidor. We shouldn't really have a ton of problems finding copper here. From what I remember, it should be pretty much everywhere in the caves. So all we need to do is dig down and we'll find some copper. But I will take the shuttle with me because, yeah, we have no real oxygen here. We do, however, have a nanocarbon alloy on Atrox because we found it in one of those things that spawns with some items on it. So if we get 10,000 bytes, I think we can unlock the small oxygenator. So that's gonna help us get a ton of oxygen everywhere. But it does require power, so that would be a problem. I think we found some malachite right here. If you don't know, malachite is the thing that gets smelted into copper, so we're gonna need a ton of malachite. But it seems like that was just a little bit on the surface there. I'll keep looking. Okay, I found some more right over here, so let's go ahead and grab as much as we can. It looks like we're also completing a mission here, so I guess that's alright, we'll get some extra items and maybe even some bytes. But yeah, there's a ton of copper right here, so we should get all that we can. And we also have a new solid thruster to get us back. I'm really glad I remembered to bring it, because otherwise we would have been stuck here. But yeah, we've got plenty of malachite. I'll also gather some more, and then we'll head back to Atrox. Okay, so I got a couple more. Now let's get in the shuttle and see if we can launch from the caves. Nope, it says sky obstructed. In earlier versions of the game you used to be able to do this. I think I also had a cave base at some point and I would just get in with the shuttle straight from another planet. Those were fun times. Yeah, but this is more realistic, so giving credit for that. We'll head back to the surface and then we can go back to Atrox. But since we're already on Kelidor, let's also grab some tungsten. I saw one right here on the side of the mountain, so I'll get a couple. Yeah, so there we go, we've got plenty of resources now. Alright, now that we've got a full backpack of resources, we can head back to Atrox finally. And now we will be able to craft more solar panels. And we can also craft all the materials we need for the rover. The last ingredient we're gonna need are 2 exochips. So we'll go hunting for an exocache next. And here we are back to Atrox, our home planet for this series. I really love Atrox. I think I've said this like 1,000 times sarcastically and some people still think I'm being serious. But no, really, Atrox is the best planet in all of Astroneer. It's so easy and not dangerous at all, you know. I'm really looking forward to all the contradicting comments to what I just said. But let's focus on our thing right here. We'll need to smelt all of these resources. We'll start with the copper and we'll provide more power in the base. It's really that easy now. Okay, so in order to get a rover, as I said, we'll need exochips, aluminum alloy and rubber. So let's get started on that. We can go ahead and start the rubber. And then for the aluminum alloy we'll need aluminum and copper, so that's gonna be next at the chemistry lab. And then for the exochips we're actually gonna need to find some exocaches. I don't really see any on the map right now, but we'll get in the buggy and we'll move about a little bit until we find some. And then we can look into a way to unlock them. Let me actually turn on a generator here. So there we go, we've got the rubber, now it's time for the aluminum alloy. And I think we also completed a couple more missions, so let's get our rewards. Getting a ton of bytes and some cool items. We also got the peculiar piece. We will do the rail missions as well, probably in the future, maybe next month, we'll see. And we also received the medium gas canister. I'm gonna place this right here next to our atmospheric condenser. But we got our aluminum alloy as well, and these are 2 of the things we need. Now I'll go looking for exocaches, and I will use the compass for this. What we are looking for are green circles. Those are exocaches, and we can even see them on the compass when they're underground, so we might have to dig a little bit for them, but I will drive around until we find some and then we'll unlock them. One just appeared on the map right there, so I'll head towards it. And it's a little bit further down, maybe it's in this valley here. Let's see if we can spot it. Okay, so there it is on the wall right there. Great, we've got one. Now we'll need to unlock it, so we can use dynamite or we can find another way. Maybe we can get a plant to try shooting at us and then we move out of the way and that would explode the exocache. I've done that in the past, but it works best with cataplants and I don't think there are any here, so that's gonna be harder to do it with these guys. But let's see if anything happens. So I'll sit right here. Okay, I'll sit right here. Come on, come on. Okay. Oh, it missed it. Or maybe I placed this in front of it. Yeah, alright. So it worked. Got a little bit glitchy there, but we've got 3 exochips from that. That's enough to craft our large rover. And I should really head back to the base because I'm running out of oxygen. I don't know where the buggy is. Kinda lost it, but we'll find it in just a second. Okay, now we have all of the materials we need to craft the large rover, so I'll go ahead and start this up. And this might take a while. I'll also turn this on. We're also gonna need a rover seat, so I'll go ahead and get some compound for that while this is crafting. Let's also craft some small solar panels with all of that copper that we've got. I think 8 of them should be enough for right now, but we'll definitely expand this little power section in the future. I've also disconnected our Byte Farm from power right now because we needed quite a little bit to craft the large rover, and we're gonna turn it back on once we leave with the rover. We're gonna go to the nearest gateway chamber and we'll try to unlock it. That should be a pretty cool experience, so I'm really looking forward to it. Great, now we've also got some solar power here. The only thing I want is a couple more carbon because we're gonna use the generators not only to power the rover but also to unlock the gateway chamber. Now let's go ahead and open this up. And the seat as well. There we go. Let's get one of these on here and get it started to fill up the rover with power. And that's all 4 of them on here. I'll wait around and get a couple more carbon. And that should be enough. Let's actually put the one that has a carbon on here so that we can activate it while driving. We can use the C key and it will automatically activate and we can then stop it just like that. Now let's take a look on the map and see where the nearest gateway chamber is. Oh, it's in that direction and I can already see its light on top there. So we should be pretty close to it actually. But we have to keep that generator going while driving, otherwise we're gonna lose power really quick it seems. Yeah, so the large rover uses quite a bit of power. I was expecting it to use a little bit less, but it is what it is. Oh, and I see a medium wind turbine here. This is in perfect shape. I'll get it on here and we'll take it back to the base. So that's great, we are getting more and more power items. And while exploring I've also seen one of those extremely large solar panels on top of a mountain, so I'll see if I can find it again, and once we have a winch we'll be able to get it back to the base. Okay, now we'll need to build a little ramp right here for our rover, because we need to get all the way up there. So let's see if something like this works. And then we can flatten it this way as well. I think that should be good enough. Now we'll turn it facing this so that we can connect it up in there. And now all we need to do is turn all of these on. So there we go, we should be providing 36 units per second I think with all of these. So that's great. Also get this off of here and put some carbon on it so they can automatically take it. And I think we need to sustain this for either 30 or 60 seconds in order for the gates to unlock. So let's see what happens. It's almost done. Alright, that's great. And we've got our odd stone here. We've got the purplish lines, so it's already unlocked, that's great. And now we can gaze into the odd stone, and here we'll be able to see all of the other gateways in here. We will be able to fast travel between unlocked ones. Right now we only have this one unlocked. but we'll get all of them, and then we'll get the core as well, and we will be able to fast travel between all of these places. So we'll do all of that in the next video. Somebody actually challenged me to build a rail system between all of the gateway chambers and connect it to the core as well, so I might try to do that in the next video. Anyways, make sure you save this playlist right here so you don't miss any upcoming videos from this series, or if you've already seen that, then go watch this other video next. That's gonna be all for today. I've been Games for Life, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, Astroneers!